Denmark's postal service will stop delivering the letters. Piglets were left to starve as part of an art exhibition and then were stolen. And introducing AI to modify Indian call center agents' accents. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I have 3 very strange, weird news stories from around the world. Let's do it. Denmark's postal service will stop delivering the letters. They're going to stop delivering letters. You had one job, postal service. What are you doing? We have Denmark's state-run postal service called PostNord. And PostNord apparently is going to end all letter deliveries at the end of 2025. The reason being that there is a 90% decline in letter volumes since the start of the century. Well, that is a lot of a decline, 90%. I guess when you invent email, letters seem to become obsolete slowly and slowly. I never thought I'd see a post office just say, you know what, no more letters, but they're going to try this. The decision brings to an end 400 years of the company's letter service. Denmark's 1,500 post boxes will start to disappear from the start of June. Wow, imagine going about your daily life and never seeing a mailbox again. That's pretty trippy. It says here postal services across Europe are grappling with the decline in letter volumes. Germany's Deutsche Post said that they're getting rid of 8,000 jobs in the postal service. They have 187,000 employees, and staff representatives say they feared more cuts were to come. Denmark had a universal postal service for 400 years until the end of 2023. That's 400 years of a postal service? That is outrageous. What were they, mailing clay tablets way back then? Jonesy, clay tablets were thousands of years ago, not hundreds of years ago. Oh, okay, sorry, everybody. Now, PostNord, the one in Denmark, says that the letter market is no longer profitable. They have some public services that allow you to send communications via a digital post app. You mean an email? Who's using the post office's email service when there's other email services that are probably more reliable? The post office's email is probably worse than Yahoo, and Yahoo's pretty bad. Have you had the displeasure of using Yahoo email lately? I have. These spam filters, who's behind these spam filters? These are the worst. Everything comes through. They just let everything in. All the spam comes in. I'm getting emails addressed to people without even my name. Yahoo emails like, oh, okay, this is an email for Jerry? Come on through. Oh, another Nigerian prince email. Yeah, you're welcome. Come right into the mailbox. All right, we have some stats here from the Denmark Postal Service. They said that letters have fallen since the start of the century from 1.4 billion to 110 million last year. So a pretty significant drop-off. Obviously, way fewer people sending postcards these days. Says here the decision will affect the elderly people the most, although 95% of Danes use the digital post service. A reported 271,000 people still rely on physical mail, and they believe that most of them are the elderly. Well, looks like you're not going to get Grandma's birthday card anymore. So sorry, kids. Thanks for the birthday GIF, Grandma. That's what it's going to come down to. PostNord says that they're going to switch their focus to parcel deliveries and that any postage stamps bought this year or in 2024 could be refunded for a limited period. Well, I understand this move. It's kind of sad. People do enjoy getting letters. I enjoy getting letters, and I send letters occasionally, too, around the holidays to loved ones. Well, I send a Christmas card, but I write a long letter and stick it in there, and my relatives back east just go crazy for that, because I usually write jokes in there for them. But I understand the change. My question is, if this is a public service, though, who cares if they're losing money? You know what I mean? No one's walking around going, well, the fire department isn't very profitable. Yeah, we kind of all understand that the post office isn't going to be profitable, but it's a service that you provide for the citizens. Although, if not a lot of citizens are using it, couldn't you just kind of find like a middle ground where you just deliver letters once a week or something? That way you wouldn't have to lay off all the staff and people still could get their letters through. I'm just trying to find some solution that makes, most of the people pleased. You'll never see this happen in the U.S., by the way, because of the proliferation of bulk mail advertising. That junk mail that you get. The junk mail is probably what's keeping the letter industry in the U.S. going full force 5 days, 7 days, 6 days a week, whatever it is. And it's the reason why I only check my mail like once a week, because there's no need. Anyways, what do you guys think about this change here? And do you think that we should move towards just digital mail for everyone? Call the show, 646-450-2012. Baby pigs were left to starve as part of an art exhibition in Denmark. Look at that, 2 Denmark stories in a row. Stay tuned to see if I have a third. In an unexpected twist to an already controversial art exhibit in Denmark, 3 baby pigs, part of a provocative installation highlighting the cruelty of mass meat production, were actually stolen by animal rights activists. Stolen, you mean rescued? I think I fixed that for you. The pigs were left to starve in an art exhibit, and they were rescued from the art exhibit, it sounds like to me. What insane artist would make this, and what insane museum would put this on display is what I'd like to know. The incident of the stolen piglets forced the exhibition called And Now You Care to shut down, sparking global debate about art, ethics, and activism. We have here Chilean-born artist Marco Evaristi. He revealed that the baby pigs, named Lucia, Simon, and Benjamin, had been taken by activists with the assistance of his friend Casper Stevenson. This installation opened last week in Copenhagen. It featured baby pigs confined in a cage made from shopping carts where they were deliberately starved to death to symbolize the harsh realities of industrial pig farming. All right, let me get this straight. You want to protest animal cruelty by seemingly committing animal cruelty? This makes a lot of sense. I'm going to say there's probably a better way to protest animal cruelty, especially at museums. Don't they throw ketchup on pieces of art? You know, they smear raspberry jam. What happened to, handcuffing yourself to something as a form of protest? Or you do your own hunger strike. Obviously, this individual isn't brave enough to do their own hunger strike. They're going to starve the piglets, it would seem. Let's keep reading, though. Says the artist Everasti reported the theft to the police over the weekend, but was taken aback when Stevenson, his friend, confessed his involvement a few days later. All right, so this is probably a setup then, right? He wasn't really going to starve the piglets. He had his friend come in and steal them away so that the piglets don't die, but he also gets to also make his point. So, and if that's what happened, that's pretty smart. I don't want to think that he was actually going to let them starve. I could be wrong. It says initially Stevenson planned to keep the rescue of the piglets secret. However, the animal advocacy group De Glimt Dansk publicly claimed responsibility for the piglets' liberation, exposing the entire operation. Now, the artist Evaristi defended his art installation, claiming the purpose was to expose the cruelty of modern pig farming in Denmark. Here's a quote from the artist. People don't get that my art is about animal rights. They just don't get it. That's how I think all contemporary artists sound like. Despite the artist's intentions, critics argue that the exhibit crossed ethical boundaries. Several animal rights organizations welcome the awareness-raising efforts, but condemn the method of starving live animals as part of the exhibit. It doesn't indicate where this exhibit was put up, though, anywhere in the article that I can see. There's no mention of a museum. I assume, was it in the town square? Hey, boss, this artist wants to put this cage with some starving piglets as part of an art pop-up in the city. You okay with that? What could possibly go wrong? Approved. Who's approving this? It says here, the artist Everasti remains undeterred by the backlash he's received and is already reimagining ways in which he could revive the exhibition. Among his proposals is the use of dead piglets sourced from meat processing plants or auctioning live piglets to individuals who promise them a humane life. Let's hope this guy doesn't dabble into the civil rights department. We might see some children in cages in the town square. This article ends by saying, while Evaristi's installation aimed to provoke dialogue on animals' rights, it has instead become a battleground for ethics and activism. The fate of the stolen piglets may remain uncertain, but their story has undeniably stirred public conscience worldwide. Yeah, this is a major ethical issue, and I'm not even going to get into it. I'll just quote Terence McKenna, my old friend, who says that the task of art is to save the soul of mankind. And I agree with that. Does this art save the soul of mankind? I don't know. You be the judge. Call the show, 646-450-2012.
When you check out at the pharmacy, you see the journey from idea to medicine, thanks to our intellectual property system, or IP for short. IP safeguards inventions, like a new way to prevent seizures or lower cholesterol. And IP supports competition from other brands, then lower cost generics, which are 90% of prescriptions filled in the U.S. Innovation, competition, lower costs, thanks to IP. Learn more at phrma.org/IP works wonders.
A call center turns to AI in order to make their staff sound less Indian. We have here a company called Teleperformance, which is the largest call center operation in the world, apparently. They're rolling out an artificial intelligence system that softens English-speaking Indian workers' accents in real time, in a move that the company claims will make them much more understandable to the customers. Oh, that's so funny. Because, I mean, one of the biggest complaints about customer service calls is, like, no one can understand the person on the other line. I mean, there's bigger problems than just their accent, though. I mean, what are they, training these people for 5 hours and then putting them on the phone? I go around and around with these people. There's a bigger problem than the accent. They seem poorly trained, barely paid. They're just thrown into the mix, and they give them this crappy script. But if you think that the accent is the only problem, okay, you go. Let's try this out. This technology is called accent translation, and it's coupled with background noise cancellation, and it's being deployed in call centers in India, where workers provide customer support to some of Teleperformance's international clients. What are some of their clients? Apple, TikTok, Samsung Electronics. They're the biggest call center in the world, so they got some major clients, it would seem. We've all probably spoken with people that work at this call center, I'd imagine. And we will continue to speak to these employees, just it'll sound a little different, apparently. Here's a quote from the Deputy Chief Executive Officer Thomas, who says, "When you have an Indian agent on the line, sometimes it's hard to understand, hard to hear. This technology will neutralize the accent of the Indian speaker with zero latency. This creates more intimacy, increases customer satisfaction, and reduces the average handling time. It's a win-win for both parties." Great, great. Is it going to be a win-win when this technology gets in the hands of scammers? I don't think so. Like those romance scammers that I keep referring to on this podcast, they can't get on the phone because it's not going to be very effective if you sound like, "Hello, I'm Brad Pitt. I swear I'm Brad Pitt and I have a very, 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 very big crush on you. And cancer. I have cancer too, you know." But, you know, with AI assistance, you could probably even sound like Brad Pitt. I can't do a Brad Pitt impression. I'm not even going to try. You can imagine the fallout of this. Nonetheless, this company is very excited to use this AI voice accent translation technology that was developed by a company called Sanas, located in Palo Alto. So I guess going forward, maybe a lot of us will feel a little bit safer hearing such phrases from customer service as, "I'm so sorry. I understand. I'm sorry, sir. I understand. I understand. Yes, I understand." They always understand, and they're always so sorry, but they never do anything to help us.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hey. Hi, everyone. This is Jonesy, and I just want to thank you for spending some time with my Weird AF News podcast today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to the show if you would like weird news 5 days a week. On Friday, we only do weird news from Florida, just a heads up. So that means tomorrow's episode is the Florida Friday episode. If any of you come across some weird Florida news that you think is appropriate for the Friday show, email me, funnyjones@gmail.com, or go to my Instagram @funnyjones and just Slide into my DMs. It's okay. You can slide right in. I want to give a shout out to Jeff. Jeff B. bought me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. Jeff has done this before because Jeff is very supportive, and I am grateful for Jeff B. Jeff wrote me a note. Hi, Jonesy, more coffee, in parentheses, stout, from me to you. Thanks for all your efforts, buddy. Trying to lighten the mood of the day with your humor and silliness. 5 stars as usual. Be well, Jeff. Jeff's very polite, super, super nice. So we appreciate Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for that. You made my day. I got a nice email regarding a story I did yesterday about movie theater advertisements. This is from Tommy Crowder, who is the director and safety coordinator of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Mason Valley, the Yerrington Movie House manager. They have a movie house here at this Boys and Girls Club, apparently. Very cool. Tommy wrote, Hey, Jonesy, big fan of Weird AF News. After listening to the news about the movie theater advertisements, I wanted to share with you that as a movie theater owner, advertising is a thing that we have very limited control over. Any local advertising or anything that is not movie trailer, we have complete control over, which is why we play it before our scheduled showtimes, assuming that most people are in the lobby getting their snacks. However, once the showtime starts, our software kicks over into a play track that is designed by the studios. Certain trailers are attached to certain movies, and if they don't come prepackaged that way, we are given a list as to which ads go with each movie. Failure to follow through with this will result in a studio no longer sending movies to our movie venue. Movie studios will often check logs of projectors and server software to make sure that their trailers are being played. It is completely out of theater owners' hands and 100% on the studios. So look at that. We're learning a lot there. That's directly from a movie theater director. So I was going on and on about how annoying the advertisements were, and the story yesterday about the man who sued for advertisements and actually got some money from a court. Well, Thomas Crowder here from the Boys and Girls Club of Mason Valley is, really cluing us in on what's going on, at least here in the United States. So that's very helpful information. And I really appreciate Thomas doing that. In fact, I'm gonna give a shout out to the movie house here and the Boys and Girls Club of Mason Valley. Go to bgcmasonvalley.org, and if you can make a donation. And I think that would be really nice because how many Boys and Girls Clubs have a movie house? It's called the Yerrington Movie House, and they play films every day, it looks like. And I think that's pretty unique and something that we should support. So shout out to Thomas Crowder of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Mason Valley. Also, one more shout out to a listener who sent me an email, Jay Voronovich, who said, Hey, Jonesy, I too was lucky to receive $1 from the Tooth Fairy. Yet as a person who is very phobic of dentistry, this is how I share the fun. I made a child cry with this Tooth Fairy costume. Then he attached 2 images of what is like an outstanding, scary, very, very frightening Tooth Fairy Halloween costume. And I was like blown away by it. So shout out to Jay Voronovich for sharing this with me. I love this kind of stuff. Man, what a great Halloween costume, by the way. I would totally rock this and scare children. All right, now that was the due diligence. About time to wrap this up. If you want to support the show, go to weirdafnews.com where you can buy me a coffee, a.k.a. a stout, or join the Patreon, which is a great way to support the show. And you get access to additional Weird AF content in the Patreon, such as bonus episodes and a lot of film recommendations and some personal stuff from yours truly. So check that out at weirdafnews.com, and good luck with your life, man.